Welcome to Shor Machshava on the Daf. Please note that the sponsorship for the shirim are available. Please reach out if you want to sponsor a shir. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Lamed Beis. The Gemara starts Perek Shlishi by telling us that Shechita is kosher bizarre. Kohanim are required to do the avodah only mikabolo ve'elach, but Shechita is kosher bizarre. The mashmos in the Gemara, the mashmos in the Bavli, is that the Kohanim could do Shechita, but it's kosher bizarre as well. Even the Chetchila, as the Gemara tells us over here, but a Kohen could do Shechita. But we do find some discussions regarding that. So first, the Chasam Sofer printed in the end of Sefer Vayikro in the Ma'amorim, he explains there what happened. The Gemara in Brachas brings us the story with Shmuel. That Shmuel, when he came to the Mishkan, when his mother brought him as a little child, he saw that the Shechita they were doing with Kohanim, they were trying to find a Kohen. So Shmuel said, only mikabala ve'elach mitzvahs kehuna. So as the Chasam Sofer, well, they didn't know then that the Shechita is kosher bizarre. You need Shmuel to do it. And then, as the Gemara goes on, said, Eli wanted to kill Shmuel because it was moireh hoirah b'fnei rabbi. Why did Shmuel do that? So it says the Chasam Sofer, they were always trying to get a Kohen to do Shechita, because although Shechita is kosher bizarre, but it's preferred that a Kohen should do it. But Shmuel said that's only good if a Kohen is a Kohen kosher. If he's a tzaddik, so then you should prefer a Kohen over a zar. But Shmuel, when he saw Bnei Eli, everybody knew Bnei Eli were not acting properly, so said Shmuel, in this case, it's better to do a zar, who's going to be a tzaddik, who's going to be the right person to do it. Meaning, what the Chasam Sofer is teaching us is that there's no preference, a zar or a Kohen. They used to, I want to have a Kohen because he's more chashuv. But if the zar is a bigger tzaddik, so take a zar. But Chazal and Sefer HaZohar, Chelek Gimel Daf Kuf Chof Dal Amud Aleph, say clearly that a Kohen should not do the Shechita. It's not that there's no preference. There is a preference that a zar should be specifically the one doing the Shechita, not the Kohen. And in the Sefer Likutei Yehuda, he brings that the Imre Emes explained based on that. That's what Shmuel said. The reason why Shmuel was trying to prevent and stop the Kohanim from doing the Shechita is because Chazal tell us in Sefer HaZohar that a Kohen should not do it. So it's a frushim yisura. When do we have a din that you're not allowed to be moireh or b'fnei rabbi? When you have time, when you can go to the Rav and ask him what to do. But to stop and prevent someone from doing a yisur, that he could do right away. So that's why Shmuel tried to say, a Kohen should not do the Shechita. It should be only the zar. That's why he said in front of Eli. What is the reason that a Kohen should not do the Shechita? So Chazal and Sefer HaZohar say a very short lashon. They say, the lo yivga mahu osor de achid bey. They should not be poigim, the place where they're holding on to. What does that mean? So we find three different explanations in the Zohar that probably all connect to a similar mahalach. The Shem Shmuel, in Leil Shmini Atzeres Tafresh Ayin Tes, brings the name of his father, the Avnei Nezer, that the avodah of the Kohen is things that are bechashai, or hidden, or concealed. They don't do things out in public. We mentioned it earlier, that's the difference between a Kohen and a Levi, according to the Avnei Nezer. That a Kohen is doing things quietly, in a concealed manner, while the Levi is the one who's doing something more publicly, and makes it more noise and more of a scene. So says the Avnei Nezer, all the avodos after Shechita are all concealing something. You put the blood into a kli, and you don't really see the blood until you bring it on the Mizbeach. Once you reach the Mizbeach, then it's already going to a higher level. When you put the blood on the Mizbeach, it's Kivyochel taking the blood to the place of Gedusha, a higher Gedusha. It's called Hidapkus B'Olam Ha'elyon. But the Shechita is revealing something concealed. What is Shechita? You're taking blood which is concealed in the animal, and you're taking it out and revealing it. That's not a avodah of a Kohen. A Kohen's avodah is everything has to be hidden, has to be nister. Here it's Gilui. Gilui doesn't belong to the Kohen. The second way that is brought down to explain the Zohar is Kayadua, that Kohen is the midah of Chesed. Shechita, on the other hand, is the midah of Din. I mean, it's a killing of an animal. You're stopping something. You're stopping the life. That's not the midah of the Kohen who has to be bringing chesed. And that's what Chazal are telling us, that a Kohen should not do the shechita, the killing, because he's bringing midas adin when he's supposed to bring midas chesed. And this leads us to the Noam Elimelech in Parshas Nosai, that he explains that al derech ha'avodah, Shechita is to come and break the bad habits. If a person has typhus, if a person is not a full tzaddik, and he needs to go and avodas Hashem, first thing he has to do is to break his tendencies, is to take away his bad habits. That's what Shechita represents. But then the higher level of avodas Hashem is the avodah of a tzaddik, where he doesn't have to break anything, he's just elevating himself to a higher place. So he says, Ne'em Elimech, that's the pshat. The Shechita is bizarre. The Zar represents the one who's not such a big tzaddik. He has to break something. Then comes the Kohen from here, from Kabbalah on, you're not breaking anything anymore. So that's already an elevation that belongs to the midah of the Kohen. And this is the same idea, the same mahalach, that Shechita is a midah of din, and breaking which doesn't belong to the Kohen. But Al Koponi, we learn from here, where Chazal and Sefer Zohar are teaching us, the Shechita should not be done by a Kohen, because it's against the midah of the Kohen. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shomachshava Shiurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.